Hey party people, we're back with another pick a card reading. This is pile one. Pile one, this is a mystery reading. And we have the Lenormand deck. This is the tarot deck that we're using today. Goodness gracious, let me get it right. So this is the tarot deck that we're using. Every card means a different thing. So this is a mystery reading. We're going to see what comes out for you. What mystery message could you take from this? I have to read directly from the book because these cards have their own meanings. I will tell you instinctively what I get from this. With the 30 here, and I don't know what card, are these tulips? Let me see. Lilies, okay. These are lilies. With the lilies being here, I think something started blossoming for you not too long ago, and you're seeing things from a higher perspective with the mountains being here. And I feel like with the park or this like water fountain thing, the scenery here, the 20, it gives me vibes that you now have this new sense of freedom. So that's my little take on it before we actually read these messages. I'm not going to even drag it and act like I know, oh, I know what this is saying. No, I don't. I don't use this deck. I actually did not like this deck until I came up with the idea for this reading. So yes, this is your mystery message, pile one. We're going to get started with 30. So 30 says lilies. This is what I'm reading from, just so y'all have an idea. Sorry. Again, the camera is backwards from where I'm sitting. So it says, lilies, calm, peace, and serenity is what I preach. Your parents and elders show up under my symbol. I bring wisdom and experience. I signify a long-term relationship or ancestry. Contentment and satisfaction is my angle. The lily from a pagan view is symbolic, of sexuality and passion, but also of purity. It can also symbolize motherhood. As a result, these calm-looking flowers with their glass engraved background reflect a range of interpretations, that they are both growing and yet eternally captured in smooth glass without any of their essence, shows the two sides of this card. We might suggest that they are a range of excitement, sexual nurturing, or the absence of that excitement and chastity. As a card, these lilies make the cards about them pure, simple, or excite their nature. A combination such as lilies and bear, number 15, might certainly indicate the power of a mother or maternal figure in a situation, depending on the question. So this is lilies, and it symbolizes sexuality, passion, elders, peace, calm, serenity, motherhood, ancestry. So next I'm going to read 21. We have here mountain. I come to you to bring you challenges and obstacles with blockages and resistance. Ooh. I will make you late for your date, and my coolness will take emotions off the plate. Pay attention and beware. I can be the enemy in your lair. Whoa. The mountain is symbolic of obstacles in our way. Whilst it may be there to be conquered, as we see from the animal looking upon the mountain. Okay, that's the deer down here. Looking upon the mountain, it is certainly in our way. In the Revere, the mountain appears to us as an almost impossible obstacle, according with its origins as a card of detour, slowing us down. In fact, when combined with other cards, it shows that we might abandon our planned route and take another path. Consider the mountain with the tower, 19, a delay from a government-related body, or the mountain with the cross, 36, from a completely uphill struggle. Other cards of a similar nature include the choice 22, offering choices rather than detour and delay, or the star 16 card, which offers good prospects and clearer navigation. Okay, so the mountain is an obstacle. It is a different way of viewing things, and it might be like some type of obstacle that actually helps you, like how they said compare it to the tower. So how I view the tower in tarot is, yeah, it's feeling real shitty right now. It feels terrible. It's probably shaking you to your core. However, it's going to help you because it's clearing out all the things that you don't need. So I believe this mountain moment in your life could be an obstacle that you think is really tough and impossible to overcome. But I believe once you overcome this obstacle and you take this harder route, you will be rewarded with much better outcomes and situations and things that you couldn't even imagine while you were on this side where the animal is. And sometimes that's what it takes for us to, persevere through things. So that's what that card is. So now we're going to read 20. It says park. When you are going to a party, a concert, or a business meeting, I am sure to show up in your reading. You will find me in a reunion or a retreat, a riot or a picnic. I like crowds and public events, so naturally I am good with all your networking intents. Ooh. In the time of Mel, I guess it says Lenormand, the park or garden was a social venue, a meeting place. It was a space for getting out and about, sharing and networking, a place where relationships were forged. As in the Revere, the card is often depicted as a cultured garden with a fountain. Perhaps an echo, of Nuremberg, from where the game of hope first sprang. This card means public, and while it may seem strange that there are no people in the image, it is because the public space is what is being depicted. When this card is read, it adds the meaning public to the cards in its vicinity. The park and the tower 19 could signify a public organization. The park and the book 26 would show public education. It is best to stick with literal Lenormand. This card can suggest the importance of being social, and maybe it is saying you need to promote yourself more. Particularly if combined with the Moon 32 and contemporary meaning of this card with the Heart 24 might be online dating. When we had the park, the Heart 24, and the letter 27 in the 21st century, this could be that email you've been waiting for. Okay, so now with all of that put together, I believe you, Pile 1, the mystery message that you have here after I read all three of those. To me, with reading the three of those meanings for the cards, it's telling me that there is a situation or relationship that you may have experienced or are experiencing, and you think it's more difficult to handle this or to persevere through the tough times than it actually is. And maybe it's time for you to open up more in an emotional state, in an emotional sense. You have 2 8s here, by the way. That's one aspect when it comes to your mystery message. There could be this relationship coming in for you that you weren't expecting, because you could be viewing relationships as really hard, or there's a particular relationship that you already have in your life that's really hard to deal with, that is really hard to navigate through, and you don't really see it happening the way it's going, and you're ready to go another way, like the number 21 was saying, take another path. But another way I can view this is you might have social anxiety, Pile 1s. You might feel like it's hard for you to put yourself out there, and you might feel like, oh, I'm never going to find a person for me. And it might be simply because you just don't put yourself out there. You may not socialize often. You may not go out often. And I think this spread is telling you that it's time to do that. If it's about to be spring, or if it's spring season in your area, it's a great time to start planning your outings, start getting yourself ready and together. Whether that's eating a little healthier so your skin can clear up, or just getting cuter outfits put together so that when you do figure out where you're going, you know exactly the look you want to go for and different things like that. Or just simply get your confidence right. Start telling yourself all the good things about yourself. Just be grateful for all that you are and all that you have. And you'll start being more open and receptive to you as a person in totality, I should say. So that's another message I have. The third message I have for Pile 1's mystery message is the lilies said something about ancestry. I think this Pile is just heavily relationship based, and relationship with yourself as well. I think that a lot of you may have had examples of love that just weren't very healthy and didn't work out. So now you view relationships as an obstacle. Maybe people made you feel like sexuality is a bad thing growing up, and you never got comfortable with it. And I think what this reading is telling you as a mystery message is that it's okay to let your guard down in a sexual sense. It's okay to be as sexual as you want to be. Just make sure you're being safe and make sure you're protecting yourself in any way possible. Take that as you need to take it. But I believe that that's what this pile is saying. I had another ideology about it, and I kind of lost the gist of what I wanted to say. But that networking, okay, boom, there it goes. The networking card being number 20, the park, the social place to be. I think that you all may have started a business or want to start a business, but instead of you realizing that the obstacles and the failures are going to lead you to success, you're thinking that it's going to just be your downfall and it's going to be the worst possible thing to happen for you. But let me tell you, when it comes to business or anything in life, any failures, quote unquote, I don't even look at failures like failures. I feel like every L that you take, every loss, quote unquote, loss that you take is literally a lesson. And what do we need in life to learn? We need lessons. We need lessons. So it's a great thing. So if that applies to you and you're looking to start a business, you've been curious about starting a business, or you have a business that you started, but it's just not taking off in the way that you want, this reading is telling you to tap into that creative energy. Sexual energy is creative energy. Tap into that sexual energy, that creative energy, and that's going to take you over this mountain in the middle. Here with the number 21, that's going to take you over that obstacle, that challenge, that thing that you feel like is so hard to push through. Maybe you've been stuck at a certain follower count. Maybe you have the same clients coming back to you every month and you want to expand on that. Maybe it's time for you to tap in with a mentor, socialize, get out there in that sense, start going to seminars, start going to classes, start going to different things. Even if it's something that you enjoy, you never know who you're going to meet there. Like maybe take your mind completely off this project or this business endeavor and do something that you really enjoy to give yourself a break. Because then sometimes when you go back to the thing that's been stressing you out after you have fun, now you have a different perspective. Now you have a clear-eyed view on it. So that's what I have for you, Pile Ones, for your mystery message. I hope that this was somewhat or very helpful for anyone that this actually applied to. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Hey, honey sunnies of Pile 2. So we have 3 cards here. This is your mystery message. I did state in Pile 1 that I do not use this deck often, but this is, excuse me, the Lenormand deck. And it has its own definitions within this book we have here. So I'm going to read off each card's message. But first, I'm going to give you my little synopsis of just what I see based off of the cards. We have the 10, and it looks like some type of sword. I would say that this means you probably are cutting through things or getting more clarity in the state of your mind or someone else's mind. We also have here what looks like a gate, some type of passageway. So I would say that there's a form of either a decision you have to make or a certain journey you're about to embark on or not embark on, with this 38 card being here. And with the 24 and it being 2, I believe these are swan. 2 swan in the water, and they're making like this heart shape. I would say it's something to do with love. So maybe you coming together with someone, deciding on where you're going with the relationship, or maybe you're deciding on a certain path to take with yourself that'll lead you in a relationship or in a certain type of partnership, business endeavor, who knows. But that's what I got so far. So we're gonna jump right to whatever it says for each card. I had to just put my fingers on each of them. I didn't actually look at them, so I'm just read straight from the book. So the 10 is actually a scathe. So it says scathe, and it does this like rhyming thing. Last pile, I realized that. So it has like a little rhyme, and then it tells you the exact definition of the card. Hate to be so mouthy, but just give you on backstory. It says scathe. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the sun. Be careful, I am swift and sharp. I cut through with precision, with a sharp and clear vision. I am an accident, a deep cut, a break, or sometimes a difficult decision that needs to be made. I can bring good harvest or danger. Look at what I am cutting nearby. It just might be your wage. We don't do cuts of wages. Pile 2s. So then for the definition, it says, this item is a simple agriculture tool used to clear away grass and gather the wheat at harvest time. In the world of the Lenormand, it symbolizes a sudden trauma or shock that will take you by surprise. A swift, clear cut will be made. It is dangerous too, as it is sharp. We must be careful where this card points, particularly in the grand tableau. The cards next to the blade tip moderate its influence, making it more or less extreme in its impact. And then they give you an example based off the other cards. So it'll say, for example, the scale next to the clover makes the shock less severe. And then it says also, if it is cutting through the clover, luck blunts the blade. It says the symbol can also represent a call to action, particularly when combined with cards such as the Rider. So that's neither here nor there. So basically the 10, aka the Scathe, is like the Ace of Swords, where you're cutting through confusion, getting a clear message, getting a clear idea, having mental clarity. Let me just say it like that. Having mental clarity, maybe having a clear conversation, maybe just jumping on some type of event, situation, whatever, to get things flowing and going. This is how I interpret it from what I read. So yeah, that's what the Scathe is. Then we have, so 38 is bridges. So that's what this card in the middle is, bridges. It says, near or far, wide or narrow, steep or straight are some of my traits, but in whatever form, I am your connection to places, people, or points in time. I can span the spaces that separate you. I can shorten the distance that can bring you together. For the definition, it says, a symbol of transition and overcoming obstacles in your way. The bridge card acts as a way to cross a divide and thereby opens up new opportunities. It is something that assists you in getting to a destination. This card is a significant addition to the Lenormand deck because it offers a solution to a problem by helping to bridge a gap. For example, in the combination of the cross 36 and bridges 38, suffering overcome is what that would equate, like, you know, when you put those two cards together. However, if the bridges card lies behind other combinations and it is warning you not to burn your bridges, as there will be no going back on a decision. The bridges card of the Gilded Revere spans impossible mountains. It can mitigate against the mountain card, number 21, which can provide a new passage indicated by the cards around it. Then it says this could reconciliation if it was next to the time card, ring card, or letter card. So that's what we have for the bridges. It's basically like a pathway. It's basically a transition. It could open up opportunities for you or cancel out opportunities for you. So to me, this gives like tower type of energy or like death card energy, you know. Okay, so then lastly we have heart. That's what this number 24 is. 24 is the heart. So it says, the form of happiness and love is simply drawn in my shape. I am your feelings and emotions. I am your passions and devotions. Just make sure no bad cards are around to spoil this fondness and affection. For a definition, it says, in antique Lenormand decks, the design of the heart varies from an almost biological, physical heart to a kiddish, romantic heart embroidered with the flowers and other adornments. The heart is, of course, symbolic of love and relationship. Here we see the heart formed by two swans. A bird itself, symbolic monogamy, enduring love. The heart is always a card signifying beneficial emotions in the Lenormand. And it says to receive the combination of the heart and the clover and a ring. It says the heart and the birch or Scathe may not be such a happy combination. Okay, so we do have the heart and the Scathe in the same reading. So as a mystery message, I would say some of y'all are realizing that it's time for you to cut out a relationship, or maybe somebody that you're in a relationship is thinking about cutting you off. This could be a certain mystery in your life. I do get more so that the ball is in your court when it comes to this, because I feel like you're a little bit more enlightened than whoever you've been around, whether it's a certain family member, certain coworkers that you might interact with a little bit too much and you're realizing they're not real genuine towards you and it's time for you to like scale back a bit, or simply just being in friendship circles or romantic relationships that the other people just don't pour into you as much as you pour into them, or simply y'all aren't on the same page and you're realizing it's time to like just sever ties. And sometimes it's good to burn a damn bridge. I don't see it being a bad thing at all with this card combination. I feel like the Ace of Swords being next to the Tower, if this was tarot, would say like a clear communication is going to bring a big shock. So I think that somebody's going to be really surprised by whatever you're about to tell them, or maybe whatever they're about to tell you. And I think it's going to make you figure out whether you want to deal with this person or not, or maybe even somebody that you're not aware of likes you, has a crush on you, wants to deal with you on a more romantic level, and you'll be surprised by this, but this might be like one of the best relationships you've ever been in your life. This could also be something in business or within a work situation where maybe this clear communication comes through and you're surprised that you're getting a promotion or a raise, or some type of business wants to interact with you or collaborate with you, pay you for a brand deal, whatever it is that y'all are doing. I'm always like keeping my ear on all of those types of things, so maybe I'm too far out for what y'all actually have going on. Let me know if any of y'all are like entrepreneurs or 9-to-5ers. Like, let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, that's what I have for you, Pal 2s. I think there's some type of clear communication coming through that's going to shock you about a relationship, and this could either be what you've been thinking about doing, so this is a confirmation that you should definitely have that conversation. Thank you so much. I hope this helped you. Have a good one. Bye-bye. What's up, Sunny Honeys of Pal 3? So we are doing mystery messages, but I'm only using this deck, the Lenormand deck. I have no idea what any of these cards mean, so we will be reading directly out of the book. I'll give you my little synopsis before I actually read the card definitions in the book, and then afterwards I'll come up with a little, finalized message. So right now, I see the 33 has a key on it in a cage. The 19 has this big castle coming through, poking through like a nice foresty scenery. Then we have this polar bear either walking, running, looking for something, or dancing. I'm getting type of vibe where some type of cat's been let out of the bag for you, or some type of cat is going to be let out of the bag for you. If some of you, maybe I'm getting a vibe of a new home, a new place of solace. I just saw like a new office setting, so maybe some of you are getting a new office at work, or like if you are opening or paying rent on a suite for your business. I see that happening for you. The polar bear, I don't know a lot about polar bears. Let's think what I can come up with off of a polar bear. Maybe you'll be able to survive through times of hardship. I think recently, was that pandas or polar bears? I don't know if they're saying one of them may possibly become extinct soon, but I did see a video recently of a polar bear being like way bigger than we could ever even imagine. So maybe this is a big opportunity coming to you, or workspace, and it could lead you to a much bigger bag, bigger opportunity, bigger audience, whatever. So let's see what these cards actually mean. I'm gonna look up number 33 first. I kind of have my fingers on the pages with these numbers just to like be sure I can get to it easy. So number 33 actually says key. So it says, and also pile number 3 is like, before they give us the definition of the cards, they give us a little rhyme. So it's a little cute thing. It says, key, discoveries and solutions are my forte. You will find me in synchronicity, signs, and fate. When I land close to you, you know you have the means and the answers to what is troubling you. Look to my right. I point to what is highly important or what needs to be solved. Oh, shoot. Okay, so it says the solution to the problem can be found by being in possession of the key card. It both unlocks and secures depending on which way it is turned. The answer is within your reach. This is a card of liberation. Although it can be a tool of captivity, the gilded birdcage of the Revere speaks of a bird palace which can become a prison. Inside is a rose symbolizing mystery, a mystery that unfolds as the key unlocks it. It is also, of course, a symbol of love, the most common of all mysteries. This card can influence many things. Next to the heart, 24, it can unlock feelings and be the key to your heart. Next to the book, 26, it can unlock knowledge, and so on. It is a card that offers many opportunities and new beginnings. So this is basically a problem-solving card and a card of new opportunities and beginnings. Also, it did say that it's a card of like signs and synchronicities, and it's telling you that all the answers that you have for any issues or delays or anything like that going on in your life, the key gives you have the answer within you. So it's time to dig into yourself. Pals 3s. Second, we have the Tower card. It says number 19, Tower. Corporations, organizations, institutions, and governments come under my influence. I am boundaries and restrictions, so be mindful of isolation. I describe your ambitions as well as your expectations. And let's not forget your higher education. Unlike the tower in the tarot, the Lenormand tower is symbolic of a structure that offers protection and security. In the game of hope, it is a watchtower built on high ground for surveillance over the countryside beyond. In current times, it may relate to border control or control of passage to a city. As such, they have multiple meanings ranging from authority to education to places of power and legal dealings. Ooh! Then is a seat of power and often means bureaucracy. When combined with the letter 27, it is dreaded to form to be completed, even though when accompanied by the snake, read the small print of the insurance policy. So that doesn't pertain to this reading, but that's just giving you an idea. It says, in some books, it can be symbolic of a place of isolation, such as hermitage. It then carries occult meanings, and the remote tower of the Revere also has this connotation. It is sometimes within oneself that the watch needs turning. Okay, that's interesting. So the number 15 says bear. I am power and strength, health and protection. Your finance is in my field. Your food is my concern. My bad side comes out when you see negative cards around. The polar bear is a fitting symbol of the indomitable dignity signified by this card. Whether it be read as an authority figure or a protective mother or purely as strength, the polar bear is the most powerful of all the species. Furthermore, its color is symbolic of the pure spirit it embodies. The bear can relate to a person who is in position of power in the business world. The bear can also be a matriarchal. In China, the polar bear is known to represent Russia. The bear may also be a symbol of officialdom and brute force. This card could be telling us to push something through sheer force. An interesting combination would be the bear and the flowers and Iron Fist and the velvet glove, for example. They only give us one example for that. So it said, what again about the bear? It says that its food concern is your food and finances the field. So I think in a sense of are some of you chefs or some of you like to cook a lot? But if anything, I would say that this is telling you, you know the answers within yourself. I can say for myself, I am on a health journey now where I'm looking, not even looking, like every day I just try to eat the most healthy I possibly can and get some type of movement in. And if I skip days of it or whatever, I just make sure I get back on it because it is a lifestyle change. It's not going to happen overnight. So I believe that some of you are going through the same thing where you're trying to figure out the ways to lose or gain weight or just get better in shape. I don't know. I'm kind of seeing like maybe skin issues, maybe someone with a digestive problem, different things like that. Sometimes you really just have to look at your habits and start correcting those first, and then you go to the doctor, let them tell you exactly what it is going on with yourself. But once you leave the doctor, you still have to put the work in. So I think that a lot of you are realizing that all of the mystery messages, some of you are kind of nervous about maybe some type of doctor labs that you got done recently, or maybe something a doctor has told you. You're kind of scared about how things are going to go for you going forward. But I feel like in this reading, the mystery message is you have all the answers within yourself, with the key being here and the tower being there next to it. With the organization, it's like the doctor's office or whatever, the holistic place that you went to, the whatever, right? It gave you the answer. It gave you the answers and basically the clear picture view of exactly what it is that you're going through internally. So with the polar bear being here and it being like kind and with finance and food and different things like that, it's like you kind of know that if you're not going to eat healthy on your own, maybe hire like a meal prepping service for yourself. If that isn't affordable for you, if that does not pertain to you at all, maybe it's time for you to actually spend the right money on food instead of trying to like be cheap. And like in New York, we have dollar slices and we could go get like little cheap stuff and it's like the worst food. Like, and I know every state in America basically has ramen noodles, has chips, has sandwiches, cold cuts, blah, blah. But like, really, is that stuff actually healthy for us? You know what I'm saying? Versus you possibly making your own bread at home or using a wrap, like making your own wrap. It's so easy. Like if you look up how to make a wrap, you probably won't ever want to buy it ever again. Like you could just make 8 at once and freeze 4 and have the other 4 for the week or whatever. I don't know. Just giving ideas. But I am getting a strong message of health and wealth with this pile. That polar bear basically was a cherry on top of what was already being said. And I feel like you all already know the answers to whatever questions have been lingering or lurking in your mind. And the mystery message is for you to just unlock your inner power, unlock your inner strength, where you know what you're here, not what you're here to do, but just basically like what you need to do at this time, because you're able to really just navigate this on your own, and with whatever organization, like maybe it's time for you to go to a doctor, and then just know that everything after you get the diagnosis, I don't even want to say it like that, but after you get like your checkup, after you get the breakdown of what's going on with your body through you getting labs and different things like that, now you're able to implement a new plan. So I think that that's the vibes that this pile is giving. I do think this message was pretty straightforward. So that's the mystery message for you, pile threes. I hope this was enjoyable.